Hi, this is Jessie from Jessie Rusher Photography, and I wanted to create for you today a short tutorial on how to take great photos of your newborn in your home. I was going to share with you today a few tips on the wraps I use, the poses I do, and also how to find the best light in your home for newborn photography. Let's talk about wraps first. I use stretch wraps. If you go on Etsy and look up newborn photography stretch wraps, a lot of different options will come up. They're typically made of a jersey fabric and it stretches. So those are my favorite to use. I understand you may not be able to get this type of wrap for shooting your baby at home, so even a simple swaddle like this will work. You would just swaddle your baby normally as if you were putting it down to sleep. But today, if you do happen to have something like this, I'm gonna show you one of my basic wrapping techniques. So here we go. I always start out with a little bit of the fabric right behind the baby's shoulders, a little bit of fabric sticking out like that. We have to keep in mind this is my daughter's baby doll and it is smaller and it does not bend like a real baby would, but it will give us a base idea of how this wrap works. So I tuck the short end around the baby's arms and tuck it right behind the baby's shoulder. So you want to have it tight enough where the baby feels safe and secure, but not so tight where the baby would be getting too warm. So then now we have the long part of the wrap left. We're gonna pull it across and over top the baby, keeping his or her little shoulders out. So now we have the long wrap over on the left side. We're gonna tuck this one more time around the baby's back. And then we are going to pull the long side of the wrap down. We're gonna cross the baby's feet up like newborn babies wanna do. They wanna curl those little feet up. We're gonna pull this around the baby's bottom. And as I do this, I tend to take this underside and just kind of tuck it around so the baby feels secure. So now we're gonna wrap this around the baby. And this is also much easier to do if the baby is asleep or sleepy. So wrapping a baby like this that is awake or crying or agitated is not gonna be easy. So I would not attempt that. So I'm just gonna continue wrapping this around the baby. If this was a real baby, I probably wouldn't have any wrap left, but I do because I'm wrapping a baby doll. So I am just gonna tuck this last kind of chunk behind here. And typically with a real baby, I would have not a lot of wrap left and I would just tuck it right up underneath. So as you can see, the baby's secure. Its little hands are peeking out of the top, but secured down to his chest, and his little feet or toes are peeking out of the bottom. Another thing you can do is take this and pull it up over top if you want kind of that look of the whole baby wrapped. So that is the basic technique. Okay, just want to say one more time, if the stretch wrap technique seems like too much, you don't have to do that and you don't have to go buy a special wrap. Use a swaddle that you already have at home, preferably in a solid color, and just swaddle your baby like you would if you're gonna put your baby down for a nap or for bed. So now we're gonna get into this. Right now I'm using a boppy pillow, or you can use any kind of feeding pillow would work. I'm also going to show you a few different blanket options that you may have already at your house that you could use to just cover this pillow, and then we can pose the baby on the blanket with the pillow underneath. So this is just a normal blanket my daughter received when she was a baby. You could use something like this, and a solid color would be nice. This is a popcorn blanket, it's called. They used to be more popular. I don't see them as much now in stores, but this is something you could possibly have. It photographs really well. Always knit blankets, maybe even something like that you had from a grandmother or someone in your family that has some sentimental value is always something that they photograph beautifully, and it's special because it has meaning behind it. So something like this could work really well. I got this at HomeGoods years ago. It looks like a sweater, but it photographs nice. It's in a neutral gray color, which tends to be nice. It doesn't distract away from the baby. And then these type of blankets, they're soft, they photograph pretty well, they're not shiny, so they come in some nice colors. You may have one. If you don't have any of these things, I'm sure you have some kind of blanket or throw that you could put over top of this pillow and make it work. So that is just some options. So today we're just gonna grab this gray one. That should look pretty nice with purple. So you're not putting your baby straight on the floor. It'd be good to put a little blanket down here so it's a soft space for your baby to sit. And then I'm gonna take one of the blankets that I showed you earlier and I'm gonna cover this. Again, creating a really soft kind of little well in the middle. Take our baby, kind of rest its bum just right down in there in that well and get its head a little bit propped up with on the pillow. You can kind of move that around if you need to. Okay, so I want to talk a little bit about finding the best light you can find in your house for newborn photos. Natural light is always going to be best. I would look for a big window or maybe a glass storm door even, depending, obviously making sure the baby is safe and warm, but sometimes a lot of beautiful natural light will come through doors like that. We want to have the window to the side of the baby so the light is coming down across the baby's face. Right now I have a window that's over here and over here, so that's creating nice lighting on the baby. What you don't want to do is have a light source that's coming from down here and up, because it creates the effect like you had a flashlight underneath your chin, which we all know is not a good look for anyone, especially a little newborn baby. I know it sounds crazy, but turn off lights in your house and use only natural light. If you have enough natural light is gonna look best. Mixing indoor lights from like a lamp or overhead lights with natural light can sometimes give a weird color to a photograph. So now that we have our baby wrapped, we have our prop set up, and we also have found the best spot for lighting in the house, we're ready to take a photo. So I am just gonna use a phone, as many of you probably are using your phones as well at home. If your phone has portrait mode, it could be a good time to use that. If not, just use the regular photo mode. So I'm gonna use portrait mode. I'm gonna get at an angle above the baby. I'm gonna shoot the baby and I'm gonna focus right on the baby's eyes. We don't want to shoot down like this. We want to shoot up like this. My phone's already focusing on the baby's eyes and face, which is where we want it to be. Okay, so now that we got those shots, you can turn your camera this way and get a tight shot of your baby's face. You also can take this time to get some of the detail shots, like of the toes, the ears, and the feet. I know that was a lot. Please feel free to reach out to me if you have any specific questions about things. I would love to try to coach you through this and help. But yeah, stay safe, stay home with your baby, and enjoy this time because it does go fast. So thank you.